Okay, I'm going to go live. Let's wait a couple of seconds. Okay, here we are. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Pablo, and I'm responsible for marketing here at Iagon. And we are going to start our Q&A session today with our tech guys and present to the community our Iagon's platform solution that we are working on. Look, it's only the first iteration today, but we are eager to showcase what we have. Also, please like the stream, follow our channel. It will help us to get more views and audience as well. Also, you can drop your question in the chat and we will answer them. We will look on them later in the second part of our session. Please take into account that today we want to focus on technical stuff, technical aspects of the solution and to dive deep into them. So that now we can start this presentation section with our tech guys. I don't want to bother you with long introductions. And now I want to give the floor to one of the most important and serious men who leads this process of development. Andrew, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Pablo. I wouldn't say I own the most serious role. I think I just keep the technical team running smoothly. As Pablo mentioned, my name's Andrew Ong. I'm the head of engineering. So in words that you can understand, literally, I just keep the ship running. So I'm really excited to have you guys here. We are really excited to show what we have been working on for the past year and a half. So without further ado, let me jump right in and take it from there on in. Excellent. So the URL that we've actually published out there is actually sc.uat.iagon.com. You know, SC standing for storage client, and bear in mind it is still in UAT mode. Now, we don't have a disclaimer yet, but it will pop up once we drop off this conversation. So as I mentioned before, it's storageclient.uat.iagon.com. Now,
I'm sorry, Andrew. Just a quick feedback. On YouTube, your screen isn't visible. It's just a video streaming, not your screen. Oh, sorry. Now it is. Now it is. Sorry. Please continue.
Okay. All right. Sure. I will reshare that. Excellent. Hopefully you see the storage platform, which is just sc.uat.com. Now, as you know, we've affiliated, or in order to get entry into our platform, we've gone through with the Web3 logon and authentication route. So to get involved, you will have to integrate with Nami Wallet. So I'll just pop it up here. This is something I've pre-created. Not enough dollars and cents for my liking, but you know, we can work on that. So it's actually linked up right here with the Nami wallet. So this is the profile I'll be using. So if you pop into here, you actually have this little challenge protocol. And look, I'll just bump over it right now, and I'll return to it in a second. But I'll just log in and just show you the interface before we go a bit more technical. So excellent. So as you can see, it's very Dropbox or Google Cloud like interface on purpose. You know, it's something that we're all familiar with and we can readily use. The API that's driving this on the back end will be exposed and will be API driven. However, as it stands, you know, this is a familiar entry point that we can all use. So, you know, the usual features, bells and whistles apply. You know, you can upload one. Oh, you can upload one. You can upload many. I've just spammed quite a bit on my on this. However, you know, the usual features just apply here. You know, you can download, inspect, have a look. I think I'll actually go for the Wollongong office. So let's have a look at this. So having a look at this, you know, we have a running joke here that is one of our mascots. You know, because of COVID's work from home, office, what do you call it? Home coffee machines are quite important. So going along through there, you can actually delete this through. Fantastic. And what I'll do is I'll log out right now, and I'll actually pass it on to Tala Hussein, who's our blockchain developer, and he actually led parts of the integration of the NAMI wallet.
Thanks, Andrew, and hello, everyone. My name is Talha. I'm working at Iagon as a full stack engineer, focusing mainly on the front end side of things at the moment. I would just briefly run you guys through the authentication mechanism that we have in place as of now. Now, keep this in mind that this is still a work in progress, and we have a couple of additional security layers that are planned to be integrated in as we develop along. So as soon as you click on the NAMI wallet button, you're prompted to sign a hash-like string, which is a nonce or a challenge that gets sent from the gateway when you make your first API call with a public address. Now, this nonce needs to be signed in with your private key, which stays within your browser, within your MetaMask wallet. And keep in mind that this doesn't cost you anything. So it's absolutely free to do that. As soon as you sign that nonce in, which Andrew just did, what happens is there's another API call that gets made on the backend side with the public address and the signature. And through this, we are able to verify the authenticity of the user without knowing any details of their private key. So basically, we're using the zero knowledge proof protocol here. And that's it for the authentication part. And if you're authenticated, you'll go to the dashboard directly, and yeah, off you go. You can start uploading and downloading the files and enjoy our beautiful cloud storage platform. Over to you, Andrew.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, that's the front end aspect of this. However, to go underneath the hood, the best person to speak to would probably be Kang, who leads up the back end engineering team. So Kang, if you would mind, just go right ahead.
Cool. Hi guys. Yeah, my name's Kang. Yeah, I'm a senior developer here at Iagon. I'm going to run you guys through pretty much the backend side of things, what we have both off-chain and on-chain right now and in the future. Cool. So you guys are seeing a high-level architecture diagram of our system that we have, and our main focus for the past few months to a year or so has been, obviously you guys have seen the browser interface just demoed by Andrew and Talha. We've been working on the subscription on-chain contracts as well, which is the I don't know if anyone's read technical papers, but it's called Formato, the subscription manager. We've also been touching upon the resource provider network as well. So we've decided to use IPFS as the kind of storage layer for the nodes, and then on top of that, we've built a Java wrapper that kind of does a few additional things before your file gets to ultimately IPFS, and also it's not in this high level diagram, but we've been working on a bunch of APIs called the gateway, and that's related to allowing this whole kind of file CRUD operations, so create, update, delete operations, and also the encryption protocols along with that. And yeah, so in the future, we're still targeting the two the marketplace and how the rewards are going to be distributed to the resource providers. So I'll just quickly show you guys the API interface that we built out. That's called the gateway. So yeah, as Talha mentioned, the authentication happens with signing a nonce. I won't get too far into that, but yeah, that allows us to use your Web3 wallet to authenticate yourself as a user. We've had a heavy focus on obviously the file operations, creating files, uploading files, downloading files, listing files, etc. We've also have so we built out also along with that the encryption protocol. In short, we're using a per file unique symmetric key for the encryption. But if you want to get deeper into that, yeah, please ping the questions in the live stream. I won't get too far into it, but yeah, we pretty much run through our first version of the encryption protocol in this current phase as well. Yeah, so yeah, we've run through authentication. We've run through the file APIs. There's two more to get through: subscription and resource provider. So in terms of our on-chain contracts, we're working on a model that will basically in the Cardano system, it's going to mint an NFT upon a successful subscription transaction, which will allow the user to be deemed subscribed to the protocol, as in to be able to interact, upload, download files or not. I'll run you guys through a short sequence diagram that one of our engineers made, and hopefully everyone can see it. So basically, how the subscription protocol works now is we're going to utilize proxy contract, pass transactions to our contract deployed on PAV, so that these NFTs can be minted. Reason for that is we ran across a few balancing issues with the Light Wallet API is not quite ready to interact with complicated script addresses that actually have code. So yeah, that's where we're at with the on-chain code. Once we're ready with the proxy contract, we'll be ready to deploy everything we have on-chain onto pre-production. So there will be an address for that. Cool, so that's where we're at with subscription. And then going back to the Swagger interface, the resource providers, which probably a lot of people are interested in terms of the resource providers, as mentioned, we're working on a wrapper around IPFS that will allow for some more in-depth telemetrics as to the amount of files, the amount of data coming in and out of that resource provider, and also other metadata aspects which pertain to GDPR and geolocation. Yeah, so that's in short currently where we're at with the both the off-chain and on-chain side of things. And yeah, thanks, and I'll pass the baton back to Pavlo.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. It was good. So I see we have some activities in our live chat. Thanks, guys, for this. We will take your questions in a bit, but for now, I want to start with the pre-collected questions from our Twitter. Let me read first one. So, what are the time release for the storage solutions, alpha, beta, and then final product? Basically, timeline. So, Andrew, I know like it's hard to estimate development, but maybe you can give some like basic insights on this for the community.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Pavel, and thanks to the reader that posted that in. So in terms of timeframes, as Kang mentioned, the next quarter is definitely focused on the on-chain subscription side of things. That will tie in the majority of all the payment system and that side of things that is heavily very, very important to us to get rolling. We foresee that will be rolled in within the next quarter. Now, the challenges we have there on in is there's some complex questions and decisions that we have to put in. So we would have to ask the community to just watch this space. Subscribe to us and just watch our space and ask us the hard questions, right? So yeah, that would be it, Pablo.
Yeah, our community is great. They're always asking good questions. One more. Let's go to the next one. Mike, our follower, asked, could you please present what makes Iagon like unique and differentiated from the competitors like Filecoin, Siacoin, and similar one? So what makes us unique, Andrew? You know it.
Truthfully, I think our CEO or the higher ups definitely could definitely give a spiel or two about this now. However, from a technical point of view, what I believe that we are differentiators is, first of all, we've partnered up with quite a few tier one resource providers. That's in the works and that's coming out. We're heavily focused on the Web3 authentication and the resource provider subscription model. So yeah, and thirdly, which actually I should have put up front, is we actually want to provide our users control of their storage and data. That is, it may not have shown prior, but we do have a GDPR compliance program where you can control where you allocate your data and the end result of that.
Cool, yeah. GDPR matters, we know this. And also, guys, you can read a lot of articles on our blog about why it's important and how we will handle all these things related to data privacy and user data and so on. But for now, let's go forward. Next question is the most asked question, to be honest, during the last months. So what is the minimum requirements for setting a node to support Iagon network? And you can like give the answer, I guess, for clarify something for the community.
Okay, sorry. What were the minimum requirements for running a node? Okay, great question. So basically, right now there will be states to run a node. How many we're still deciding on. Aside from that, there are a few software requirements for running a node. Three of them, the main three, are probably a Linux-based OS. Having Golang configured in your environment to be able to run the IPFS node, and having Java 18 to be able to run our resource provider code. And then in terms of pure hardware requirements in terms of gigabytes, we're still deciding on those figures.
Cool, thanks, Ken. Okay, let's move on. Next question is about development, but like in the future. So what type of dApps will be possible on top of Iagon platform? So maybe Andrew or Ken, you can give some ideas about this.
Okay, cool. I'll give it a shot again. So in terms of dApps, as mentioned, we want to eventually open our API up to dApp developers. So that could pertain to firstly NFT projects come to mind, blockchain related games come to mind that require storage. And also because we have a unique on-chain subscription protocol, we're thinking about it's the first protocol on-chain that's allowing subscriptions the way in a new way. So what that means is we could potentially leverage that technology to help other subscription-based dApp apps out there.
Okay, thank you. And one more question from our lovely community. Oh, next question is more like ideas from our creative guys and our followers. So can you guys build a decentralized GitHub or GitLab type of system on top of Iagon? It's more like an idea for us. So maybe
I believe there are actually projects out there that already propose a decentralized Git network, and I believe they're taking away from the GitHubs and the GitLabs. I can't remember off the top of my head what that project is. However, where Iagon fits in is we would actually provide the storage and authentication. Well, those projects will live on top of Git. However, would actually be the underlying resource providers to where Git would stay. So and the authentication mechanisms to get forth. So that's how we would play in terms of building that up. But they certainly can, especially once we open up our APIs and be API driven.
Yeah, cool. And one more idea for us is next question. Will the platform, the Iagon platform, support web space so it can host UI of Web3 apps? It's also an idea.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Thanks, Pablo. I'll have a go at that. Yeah. So in terms of storing things other than pure acting as a pure storage front, basically like what you're talking about is compute, and at the moment we're focusing on storage to begin with, and potentially we will enable some sort of compute down the track. Whether that'll look like current AWS Beanstalk nodes is to be determined. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, and now let me check the chat and see what questions we have from our viewers like right now. Okay. First question is, why is this using MetaMask? We don't use MetaMask.
Yeah.
Check.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mentioned MetaMask instead. It's purely Cardano for now. And yeah, so currently the MVP supports just Nami wallet, but we have got the plans to accommodate other wallets as well. So we'll start off with Flint and other wallets along, but for now it's Nami wallet.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Talka, for clarification. It's important. Yeah. And one more question from the chat about the solution. Let me read it. It's like, thanks for all updates. Can you explain a bit more about the security protocol you use to secure users' data and privacy, like encryption and so on? So maybe Andrew or Ken, maybe you can give some short like overview about this, about security protocol we are using and all this stuff.
Yeah, sure. So basically it's a combination of symmetric and asymmetric keys. I can give a brief overview. So we're allowing per file it's a unique symmetric key that will encrypt the file. So in that respect, we plan to build out in the future file sharing on the basis of allowing granular profile sharing. So another aspect of that is the asymmetric key. So we will have an asymmetric key as part of the encryption protocol. But that in the current protocol, it interacts with this per-file symmetric keys in a way to encrypt and decrypt the files. So yeah, that's where we're going with encryption. Further to that, further to that, I'm happy to definitely provide a deeper dive into the encryption side of things with documentation and flow diagrams and such. I think that'll easier explain things aside from me.
But
talking about
like an idea, we can do one more live session about encryption, especially for encryption stuff. I guess it would be more beneficial for the community. Maybe it will be the next session on our YouTube about encryption. We will work on it. Yeah. Thanks for the answer for the community. And also we have like two more questions. One is if it's gonna be possible to host web pages, as Mateusz asking us. So will it be possible to host web pages on our solution in the future? I guess we already have an idea to store UI stuff on our platform, but like, what about web pages? Yeah.
Well, so it goes back to the previous question about compute versus storage. I think IPFS already allows for actual web page storage, but whether that's a static, like as in like a compiled static web page, or it's an actual node app. So that they're two different questions. If it's a compiled as in pre-built compiled web page, I don't see an issue. But if there needs to be like a server or something to actually run an application, then we'll probably look at that as in a more at a more future point. So in short, very simple web pages. I see a positive in that respect.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for this answer. Let's move forward. One more question from the chat. How will Iagon decentralized computational services differentiate themselves from the competitors like NewNet and others? I guess like I know that we are focusing now on storage solutions for now, but maybe we can give some insights on this as well for how will the computational service differentiate from other projects. I know it's hard maybe to talk like in short about this, but
no, I'll have a go. So I'm not sure about NewNet, but I'll just have a go at the differentiating factors. So one is the resource provider front. So at the moment, we're trying to onboard enterprise like vetted resource providers who are actually specific to GDPR regions. So we're going to allow users to actually choose kind of granular level, like who they want to store files with. And on the other point is the fact that our encryption protocol. So I don't know off the top of my head anyway, other decentralized file protocols that have the encryption already built in. So two big ones, and then we're also obviously still looking at sharding as well to kind of speed up the whole process. we just need to run some tests on if that's going to actually benefit the whole system when files can be like asymmetrically pushed up and the pieces themselves encrypted or not. Kind of like it's kind of like a P2P BitTorrent protocol, but with encryption on top of that.
Cool.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, cool. Okay, next question from the chat is when the full migration on Cardano? I need to say that our product is already on Cardano. We are building on Cardano, but some details about tokens and so on will be communicated this week. So please wait a bit and we will announce all details. Anything to add, guys, about the Cardano migration? We are already on Cardano, so nothing to say more, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Pablo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And one more question from the community. How will people who own Iagon tokens earn income? Is it via staking and so on? I think this here is not like a question. I will point to our utility model article on our blog, so please guys check our blog and there are a lot of details on how how you can earn income or something like this. And one more question from the chat is how staking will work on wallet. How staking will work on wallet.
Sure.
So
I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I think the last two questions play into each other. So, in terms of staking, so single asset staking in particular, so there's two ways that'll happen. One with the resource provider. So if you want to provide compute, you'll have to stake assets. We're still working out the model of rewards in that respect. However, there is talk, and we may introduce single asset staking without resource provision, which means you'll earn a percentage of the fees going in through the network. And we're in conversation with various partners about that as well.
Cool. It's in addition to this question, is it gonna be on wallet or on smart contract? So I guess you already described a bit about this, right?
Yeah, it will be all the transactions will be going through a smart contract. We will be we're on track to deploy that to Vassal pre-production very soon, and then we'll keep the community updated once that's up.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I see that we don't have more questions in the chat. So for our viewers, I need to say that it was hard to get our tech guys online and live. They are always working on solution and development, this cool stuff in the backend, in the shadow. So, and we are talking in the chats about, and community is asking us about some details. And from now, I think they love to be like TV stars on the screen. So from now, I guess our tech guys will be regularly online on our YouTube, and we will do a lot of technical sessions with details, diagrams, and so on, just to make you know about architecture, about the solutions we are working on, and that's it. So I think thanks our viewers and guys a lot for everyone that you have been with us. And maybe guys, anyone want to add something for our community? Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. There's just one more question about the.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, just drop. Yeah, about one more quick. Let me read it. Will the Nomad hack and all the tokens stolen affected the utility of the platform going forward? I guess answer is no. It will not affect, and we are doing stuff to prevent all these details. And that's what I said in a bit. That this week we will announce some details about the total migration of tokens to Cardano. So that's like marketing answer, but keep update. Let's keep our community updated. Stay tuned with our social media. Follow our pages and groups, and don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have in our Telegram group. We are always online on it. We are always ready to discuss and to answer anything you may want to know. So I think it was like a cool session today. Thanks everyone, guys. And I think we can finalize it for now.
Cool. Thanks for organizing, Pablo.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Pablo.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.